Hello, good morning from Nigeria. My name is David Sinadejuan. I'm doing this video from Lagos, Nigeria. I am the lawyer to Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries. As the legal advisor, I'm also the lawyer to the General Overseer of MFM, Dr. Daniel Olukoya. Okay, let me first and foremost apologize to our pastors and all those who've been sending me messages requesting that for the past 2 weeks, asking, oh, they be hearing this, they be hearing that. What do I have to say? Because I think about last 2 weeks there about past Ayotunde Richard's wife make a post making some allegation. Oh, the husband was arrested and is the Jew of the former church where they left, and so those pastors were concerned, and I have not responded. And then some bloggers were trending it, and it's becoming a thing of concern. I've been receiving a series of calls. Typically, I'm the type of professional as a lawyer. I don't do media to respond to things. We'll study and analyze, and we'll take appropriate action where we think and where we feel or we deem is necessary to do that. So the Jew has not been around, and the reason why I have to do this is that my attention has just been called to another Instagram video by the same Ayotunde Richard overnight, where in trying to corroborate the lies of his wife, he also alleged a number of things, shouting Daniel Olukoya and MFM. Even though the wife were actively making reference to the Olukoya, as being the one behind the arrest, now the husband has come out to establish that, mentioning that the IGP should clamp down on Olukoya who arrested him and all of that. So I'm here to now respond, to those requests before now, because now Ayotunde Richard has made a video, beyond reasonable doubt that they are referring to Daniel Olukoya as the one behind his arrest, and so it is not true. I'm here to tell you guys there is nothing that can be far from truth than that. All lies, 100% lies. And let me first say that Ayotunde Richard is a very close person to me. We have very, very close personal relationship. He ministered during my wedding reception in 2018. I've supported him in his gospel outing ministry. At least his 2 albums that I know have, supported, patronized him in volumes, and that he knows. We've been friends. He comes to my house, and so the person of Ayotunde Richard is also somebody that was loved, in the MFM family, and there is no doubt to say that even the GO seriously love him. And then, so for me to come out and do this video is to let those who are also like, oh, for Ayotunde Richard to come and say this, somebody who was the lead backup singer for the GO and all of that, or it must mean something. And so some people are calling me a lawyer, what is it true and everything. All you just need to listen to or to ask yourself is that, what did Jesus Christ do wrong to Judas? For Judas, who was one of the 12, to collect 30 shekels and get him killed. So for you to think that there must be something. So there is nothing other than the fact that Ayotunde Richard has actually submitted himself as an agent. When I mean agent, I'm not mean the agent from the spiritual point of view, like physically hired person that some bloggers, who had been paid, who had been sponsored to run down the ministry of MFM and of Dr. Olukoya, they see him as a veritable tool that they can use, because now he had problem with the ministry and is ready to supply them whatever they need. That is just a fact. Now let me give you the background of how things got to this place briefly. Ayotunde Richard went with some ministers to Abuja concerts, and he wasn't the most senior. After the concert, honorarium was given to them, and he pushed himself forward as if he's a leader, and took the honorarium. And I think the leader there scolded him that you shouldn't do that. You are not the most senior. You are not even the leader. you should respect hierarchy. He got offended and reacted and embarrassed that pastor. Matter got back to Lagos. Committee was set up among themselves, the gospel minister, that his own is becoming too much, that they need to see how that. So a series of how it's been, when you are so talented, which is granted, when you feel that nobody can sing like you, the same spirit that Lucifer had before God has to dethrone him. And so when that spirit starts coming upon you, there is nobody like you, and you now don't have regard and respect to your senior, and you can, and so they feel like there should be some way to tame, the the attitude that is been displaying and all of that. So it's just, for me, nothing but pride. And the discipline was met out that he should go on suspension by his own group that he belonged to. But he felt that no, I can't do that. And he resigned. And so, having resigned, he find his way to those who are running MFM ministry down. If you recall, there was one charlatan in UK who for like 2-3 years kept chunking out all manner of lies, trying to piece together those who have some misgivings against the church, and said he was doing video to run Olukoya down. When she was doing all of those things, I advised, let's allow this lady say all her lies. We don't need to respond. Some members were responding, but for me as a lawyer, we will take appropriate action. Now, when we start taking action or defamation against her, she couldn't establish the veracity of any of those lies. The video she did consistently for about 2-3 years, she could not establish one of them to be true before the UK court. This was somebody that whenever she does videos, she will say, oh, it's only in Nigeria you can misbehave. Come to UK. Here, the system works very well. The judiciary are going to do the right thing. Right there in the UK judiciary, she was slammed with thousands and thousands of pounds for defaming Dr. Olukoya and MFM. And right now, she's struggling and begging that she cannot pay. She had made an attempt to appeal. The appeal thrown away. In fact, the judge called the appeal as hopeless and baseless. That is how terrible. After years of lies that a lot of people had actually believed, unfortunately. So for us, I'm not that type. And so when the woman in UK has now been perpetually restrained by the UK court, which she subjected herself to, because a case in Nigeria who also found out, wrongdoing and slam 100 million naira. She saying it's only in Nigeria that they can do kangaroo, whatever. But right there in UK, where she was ably represented, she was slammed heavier because she couldn't establish any of those lies. So I think I need you guys to understand that. But we are not the media, we are church. We should preach the gospel and not to be running to media and be exchanging things. So the reason why, for me, I have not made any response to any of these things. I don't believe in that. But right now, the woman in UK has handed over a baiting to another one in America, one Funke Ashekun, who had for time now been doing a number of things to defame the G of MFM and the mission of MFM. She was someone who has also massively benefited, from the goodwill, and the favor of, Dr. Olukoya, because she was given a platform, she was in youth church, she was in counseling session, and the husband, they all enjoy a number of things: free accommodation, massive salary, special one, more than even what the AGO was earning, travel on the to represent a number of things, cars, houses, families, school fees, all expense, even including money, some of which have not been accounted for. But where she had now found succor, for whatever reason, to be the one to take the baiting from the woman in UK. And of course, because there is money, somebody is bankrolling them. Some people somewhere who really, for whatever reason, wants to run down the ministry of MFM is actually sponsoring those missions. And so the Funke Ashekun now has to recruit somebody from within the ministry, and that is why Ayotunde Richard was very, very available, the best tool they could use. So Ayotunde Richard, having resigned, decided to team up with Funke Ashekun, and that is his choice. Where I came in and where I felt a bit bothered was when one sister Okpeyemi started doing on social media to be responding to Funke Ashekun, and then started calling Ayotunde Richard. Immediately, that was even when I got to know that Ayotunde Richard has left the ministry. Personally, I never knew. So I now find my investigation and I call Ayotunde Richard, what is going on? Say, the law, see me, oh. We're so close, like I said, very close. He came to my house, we discussed what's going on. So he told me his own side of the story. I said, but this matter is simple now. No. If that is the case, because he painted the picture of being a victim, that the people in the praise team are beefing him, and that they are threatening him because of his star and of his whatever. I said, but if that's the case, it's not enough for you to be talking some of the things you are seeing on social media against the ministry. Don't you know that by talking against the ministry, it's like you are disrespecting all the investment and all the gold that the GO has done for you. You yourself, you confirm that you were from Bariga, you were nobody. You said you used to be smokers and everything until you came to the GO and he employed you. You were working in his office, you became his backup, and you said that you have traveled all over many countries to minister, and it was one that sponsored it. Your clothing, your wardrobe, your school fees for your children, your wife employment. This man did all of that. So why should you say because you have problem with one minister or some ministers in your group, then you want to run the ministry down? I advise him against him. Nonetheless, I would is somebody I still have flair for. Like, I like him. Like, I have to go to the Judah. No, we cannot afford to allow this people with whatever they have in their group to bring out Richard to this place. We need to get him back. That is me. I'm saying this now. And because he saw that is like I have that soft spot for him. I never knew. I never in my life could imagine that he was actually going to use that to his own advantage. Apparently, as at that time when I was siding with him, meeting with the Jew, that how can we stop all the old discipline from the choir department against him, he was actively recording and downloading my intervention and everything, and he was sending it to Funke Ashekun. I'll get to that. So it was not, in fact, when he told me that, the law, are you aware about the SFE invitation? Like, what is happening by SFE? He said somebody invited, and I said, how could that be? He said it must be from MFM. All my enemies are from MFM. I said, can you be saying that? And he wants to know whether it's that the Jew. I said, how on earth do you expect me to know whether it's the Jew? And what will make you to report to SFU? What? I said, well, in any case, please don't ever go to SFU until a proper invitation is extended to you. In fact, get a lawyer. So I was even advising him, as at that time when he had even left the ministry, that I refused, because I was trying to see how I can, rescue and survey the situation. And I like, no, I can't be part of it that will bring police to this matter. It's still a church matter. All of those chats, my brother was busy recording and downloading them and send them to Funke Ashekun, because Funke Ashekun confronted me recently with those chats, send them to me, and I felt like, wow, what can be, what other definition can you give to a betrayer? As at last year, when this whole matter started, when I was actively mediating, it took me 3 months, but I never knew Ayotunde was actually making money from whatever he was doing for the Funke and those bloggers abroad. Because so far so good, they said he's been able to make close to about $30,000 to supply information and get people to talk on those blogger platforms. Found in his phone. How did the matter get to where it got to? So for those of you who, like me, used to see Ayotunde Richard as one calm, nice, loving gospel minister, you probably believe he couldn't do some things until you hear it or until you see it. There's no way I could imagine that Ayotunde Richard can be so toxic and be allowed to be used, the way and manner of what I found or what came to my revelation. First class as a lawyer. First of it is that when he left, and Sister Okpe, reached out like, no, you don't have to be doing all of this thing. I think he called that on bluff. And Sister Okpe now got angry that we are close, but on this issue of you now siding with people who are running the ministry down because you don't want to wait and face your disciplinary action, I'm not going to be part of it. So they have that exchange. Everything got, out of control between two of them. Then that started to drag him too. So it was a personal issue between Ayotunde Richard and Sister Koyemi Emmanuel. that led to what it is. So then the next thing, he has to send voice notes to Sister Kwemi Emmanuel, wherein he threatened the life of the son of Sister Kwemi Emmanuel. Now in that voice note, Ayotunde Richard said that, Kwemi Emmanuel, I think and I know that the most precious thing, in fact the most valuable thing to your life is that your son. And then he started to issue curses and saying things that will happen to that son, a minor, in a voice note sent to that woman. And this is a woman who was barren for 10 years. And the reason why I actually took the matter personal on behalf of the ministry is that, according to him, that if not for God that used Dr. Olukoya to pray for her for those 10 years while she was waiting, and keep reassuring her, praying for her, praying with her, and the husband reassuring her that such a man who had labored in place of love and prayer and to seek the face of God to open her womb, that she can never at any point want to be part of anyone that will run him down. That was where the woman took the matter personal, and then have to go and call out Richard that you are an ingrate, you shouldn't be doing this to somebody who has also done so much for you and your family. Then the next thing she got from Richard was a voice note threatening the life of the son. That was where the woman got it, like, no, we are still even doing dragging and calling, but now my son. And for him to even say that that son is your most valuable, your precious thing, and these are the things that will happen to that your son. When I listened to her voice note, I was afraid. I never listened to her voice note when I was siding with him, when I was trying to see how we can, placate everybody and reconcile. But the moment that voice note got to me, in fact, I was afraid. I just tactically withdrew. Even though as at that time, Ayotunde was not even showing any sign to pull back. Not knowing that he was actually making a lot of money from those abroad, sending money, Funke Ashekun, who are effectively being bankrolled and sending. For you to be able to send $30,000 about to seek information and gather, intelligence of how people can come and run a ministry of MFM down. So it's a business for them. Now that's about that. So both the SFE invitation and the Alagbo invitation were the instances of Sister Kwemi Emmanuel. She was the petitioner. There was not even any lawyer that wrote petition for him, because eventually I was at the Alagbo. So when the wife of Ayotunde came out about 2 weeks ago and started saying kiniko, and then the husband has now said the GO of MFM Olukoya, I left the church and everything, it's not true. Ayotunde was arrested because of threats to life of a minor, and the mother of the minor is a petitioner before the police. Please let this be very clear. Now, when they were investigating that, allegation, which of course his phone was confiscated because he used his phone to send out voice note, the police later now stumbled upon so many other conspiracy and careful plan and evil that they are already orchestrating against some other persons in their conversation between Ayotunde Richard, Funke Ashekun, some members of MFM, and some people outside the country. They were mentioning Olukoya, the wife of Olukoya, the G of MFM. They even mentioned Pastor Kendi, one of the G of MFM. They mentioned Kumuyi, the G of Deeper Life. And the one that concerns Olukoya, in fact, Ayotunde, who has been a backup to such a person, minister, and who has benefited to that extent, got cars, got accommodation paid for, got your children's school fees paid for, and for whatever it is you feel this man has done wrong to you, in that exchange you were saying you are calling pedophile, you are telling Ashekun that I've thrown one, oh, in fact the one I throw now is a serious bomb, in fact very soon heart attack loading. That is, you are wishing the G of MFM to develop heart attack, and that one was responding, Olukoya will not be alive, will not live to see the end of the matter United States that the United States Church is having against her. Those were the words, that he would develop blood pressure. These were Ayotunde Richard words in that conversation. Now, all those scary plan and what they were doing, so it's not like the intention, the motive was established. You know, like, when are you going to do your video? And when you do that video, let me be there, put this one there, say this, say that. You know, you see that conspiracy carefully, the plot, you know, that they want to annoy him and run him, and they want to push him so that he would develop blood pressure. This is the business. These are the things police found on the phone of Atisha, and I was the one they reach out to. So it's also not true that the police, whether Ayole or anybody, send anything to Dr. Olukoya. Dr. Olukoya was not in the country all this while. So the police reach out to me as the lawyer to the church. Except I want to deny that I'm not the lawyer to MFM. They want to deny that I'm not the lawyer to Dr. Olukoya. And okay, we found this thing in the course of our investigation. Can we get across to the GO whether he has something to say? And you as a lawyer, what do you do? I said, you know what? Baba is not in the country now. Please, if I can actually have these facts or this evidence so that I'll be able to present to him whether he has something he has to say about it. Because the GO is somebody who does not even believe in hearsay or rumor. He likes, you know, he's a scientist, empirical fact. He likes to see it, you know. And the police obliged me. I got those things from police in Alagbon. As a lawyer, I was invited. So let Ayotunde Richard come public to deny that he didn't see me at Alagbon. When I came to Alagbon, he thought I was the one that wrote the petition until they show him. I told him, I don't know why you are here. I'm not even part of it. So the woman that petitioned you is here in your presence. You say you are begging her. You have actually begged her. You have resolved. You don't know why the woman came back again. And I said, so please, I don't know your travail about this particular one now. I'm invited because they said they found something on your phone that is so grievous. Planning the GO, Olukoya should have heart attack, you develop blood pressure. How you confirmed that is the one you are referring to as pedophile, and you did that because you want him to develop blood pressure. And those are the things they want me to come and respond to. So I asked him, is it true you said all those things? He said, yes. He confirmed to me that yes, he did it. He said it, they are banters. After all, people can talk anything against celebrity, and we used to talk against the president, Buhari, even Tinubu and everything. I said, but these are not about banter. These are careful orchestration of you want him dead. He should develop blood pressure. He should develop heart attack. You are intentionally saying things to annoy him, to work him up. That is what you are doing. And your motive, you are even saying it. And the other people are hailing you. Those who are paying you. I almost wept. We have that conversation at Alagbon. And so I am the one, as a lawyer in my capacity, that got those information out of Alagbon. And I sent to the Jew that, well, these are the revelation. What do we do? What do you want? The Jew just laugh. And then he called me back like, some of these things you sent to me, I find it difficult to believe. Oh. I said, well, it might be difficult to believe, but that is what it is. In fact, there is this one of them that is my daughter. How can this woman be part of this conspiracy to wish me dead? This is somebody who I took and I took care of her, just like anybody that come around me. So I can't find. I said, but daddy, if I say it's difficult, well, what do you want to do now? He said, I think I should establish that from her. What do you think? And I said, yes. And that's the GO for you. The GO of MFM is somebody that will not act on hearsay. That you are going to report to the GO that, oh, sir, somebody did this. He will ask you to sit down. He will call for the person immediately and say, okay, Mr. Reporter, this is the person you just reported. Please repeat what you said again in his presence. That is the way he operates. And so it's the same attitude to now call that woman that, Mrs. Lagbaja, but you are my daughter. This whole thing that is coming to my attention that the police have found out, is it true? How could you have done that? So if you listen to that voice note, because they are saying that the GO threatening somebody, the person is hiding and everything. How could that be a threat that you call somebody who you believe so much that no, what they said about her to you could not be true, and you want her to actually confirm or otherwise, and you might deny it? Because you said that you heard the GO say in that voice note, in that call, that but you can assess me. You probably will have the best to this for you to have come to me to that, but daddy, this one is not properly done, and I will have made amends rather than for you to go and start joining. And you heard that woman say, no, it's not possible. She couldn't have said those things. Her phone was hacked. And how can somebody say that Geo threatening. That for the Geo to say yes, but they found this thing and they found your name. And now the police are trying to establish, everybody involved, whether they are true. So if the police will invite you, what do you have to say now? He was saying those things out of concern, because that is a fact before the police. So in a normal setting, in the course of investigation, a crime has been committed, and investigating in another crime is being committed. The police will invite everybody, and he's trying to call our attention. What if police invite you? What do you have to say now? You are saying it's not true. Like, you better prepare what you are saying. Say our phone is hacked. Okay, I know that. So how can somebody come to conclusion that the GO is using police to threaten people? And so when you want to say things out of context and you begin to want to bring the GO, Ayotunde Richard effectively has become a tool in the hand of those abroad bloggers, who is also employing some bloggers here to run the mission of MFM down at the GO. And it's not only MFM they want to run down, so many others, Pentecostal ministry. And then for Ayotunde Richard to have accepted to be an agent, a field agent, to supply this information and be paid handsomely, be rewarded for that, to now come and be playing the victim's card on social media, is the most unfortunate. Because right now you are to face the criminal trial of the threat to the life of the son of Stalkwe. Rather than for you to prepare yourself for that, you resorted into coming to social media again, a matter that is already before the court, and you are calling out the police. IG should arrest Olukoya. The petition before the police does not have Olukoya in it. If Olukoya is going to petition, I'll be the one to write the petition. So for us as a church, we have not even done anything. We are still just assessing the whole issue. The crime Ayotunde has committed in this period of, you want to run to social media, you believe you can see anything. If I start enumerating them here, it's so scary. And unfortunately, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And for the fact that the Jew has always been the type that doesn't like some of this media and noise and everything, it's not enough for people to want to believe that, oh, if I run to media and call him out, he will withdraw, he will pull back. That's the strategy that they are trying to adopt. And so for those who've been disturbing me and asking questions and getting worried, those are the things that happen. Nothing but all I've just stated. And so when the time actually comes for us to take action, we will take action. So because a number of things have been said that we are just trying to look, because I don't model things together. Right now, one at a time. Ayotunde Richard is answering to the threats to the life of Stalkwe's son. The complainant before the court is Stalkwe Manuel. The charge is all about threat to life. He's not before the police or before the court because anything against MFM. That does not mean that he has not done things from that revelation. But I said, for now, we are still assessing, we are still looking at what we've done. And those bloggers, the Sahara Reporter and the rest, who is being used now to defame the church and lie that is the Jew that is behind his arrest and everything, when the time comes to, they will need to establish that in court to verify that, and a failure of which they know what is in the cooler for them. So my style is not the type. I am doing this video because I never even when the wife came and was saying all of those things, people were showing me, they trained to me like, I don't have time for the woman can say whatever she likes. The fact is there is the truth, before the police and the court. But for Ayotunde Richard to be this, I don't know how to put it, bold, and do this Instagram video overnight and even directly calling Olukoya, I really don't know. And so that's why we have to really, okay, I think it's better for me to respond to those who are saying, is it the Joe? Number the Joe is not behind Ayotunde arrest. He didn't author any petition. The Geo is not responsible for anything he's passing through at the moment. He threatened the life of Sister Akpe's son. Sister Akpe is the one that has got him arrested through the police. The police were investigating his phone. They found other incriminating things, which I've stated now. And they got me invited that as a leader to the church. What do I have to say to this? They want to reach out to you. And they said, the Geo is not in the country. Can I have all of these things and discuss with him? Then we'll get back to you. That is how I got those information. And that is how I relay them to the Geo. And the Geo, in trying to establish whether one of them in that conspiracy could have been part of the syndicate because of the closeness and how much he took that one as a daughter, made that call to the woman to establish, and then you can now find out that that woman was even recording that conversation and send it to Ashekun, which established that it's actually a syndicate thing, you know. So those are the things that happen. So there is no cause for the Joe. He doesn't have that time. But I'm telling you now, in my official capacity as lawyer to MFM, that we will take action when the time comes. But for now, Ayotunde is still responding to his criminality of wanting the only child of a fellow ghost minister to die so that the woman can. Quite terrible. Apart from all the things he wishes that happened to the GO, to Mommy GO, and some other men of God, which are all before the police. So coming to social media to come and play the victim's card is because once the hands of the law, catches up with him, so it will now look like, oh, I said it too. I've said that they are using police against me. No. Ayotunde, just like the way Lucifer felt that his talent is so big, he wants to be bigger than God, and he found his downfall, he's just walking towards that same route. And when it happens, who is he going to blame now? So that's why I've just made this video to respond to those who are disturbing you. You have nothing to worry about. When we will go to court, like when we went to court against Maureen, we did it and we stood by it. So I'm not the type that hide, and the Jew is not such a person. So thank you everyone for your listening. No cause for alarm. God bless you, and we'll wait for the Lord to take course. Bye.